to Revolt Black News Weekly, everyone. I'm guest host Stacey Ike. Tonight we are talking about the recent string of defamation lawsuits filed by some of hip-hop's biggest female rappers. Cardi B to Nicki Minaj are taking bloggers to task. So, are celebrities being too sensitive? Or are social media commentators taking things too far? Our discussion raises the question about the journalistic integrity when it comes to bloggers. Here with us is blogger TeaWithTia and legal expert and YouTube blogger, The Lead Attorney. Thank you guys both for joining me. So Lead, let me start with you. What is defamation and why are we seeing more cases with celebrities holding bloggers accountable?
Yes, defamation is basically a communication, a false communication that damages the reputation of a third party. It can be verbal, like we would see, let's say, in a YouTube video, or it can be written, as in some type of writing in the comment section of Instagram or a tweet. And we're seeing a lot more of it because social media is getting so popular. And these types of communications are just blasted all over the world. And a lot of people are getting harmed by these false statements, and they're trying to do something about it.
Right. So TeaWithTia, what precedent is this setting for bloggers who cover celebrity gossip, and should we be holding them to the same journalistic integrity?
Absolutely. I think that all bloggers should definitely blog with integrity, and they should focus on sticking to the facts instead of their personal opinion. A lot of time defamation comes from bloggers when they have a vendetta against the celebrity or the person that they're speaking on. So they make up false lies and to hurt their reputation. So I do think it's better to just stick with the facts to avoid lawsuits.
So even if you did not take that journalistic integrity approach or that oath, you still think that we need to make sure that they are following truth and their opinion doesn't count?
I do think that they should, even though they may not necessarily have the schooling of it, but a lot of times the audience takes the blogger's word as law. So I feel like they have the responsibility to make sure what they're putting out is factual, because now social media is the way of the world. Most people are not turning on the news and paying attention to people who actually went to school for journalism. They're paying more attention to the blogs, and this is just somebody who picked up a hobby.
I don't necessarily think a blogger should be held to the standard of a journalist. Journalism is a profession, and like was said, just this blogging is just people with cameras and iPhones, especially because to get this type of amplification of your voice when you're in this social media space, a lot of times comments that are more aggressive or more cutting edge, pushing the envelope, those will boost up a person's reputation even more. Having said that, all the bloggers, everyone really should follow the law. Defamation is the law in every state, and people really shouldn't be making comments that are false that damage the reputation of someone.
Right. So when the statements are true and they still are cutting edge, do you think that bloggers should still be, more cautious when they're putting out that information, or because it's true, they should say it however they want to say it?
Yeah, well, truth is an absolute defense to defamation. So if you say something that's true, no one's going to be able to successfully take you to trial for defamation. Having said that, even if what you say is true, they can still file a claim against you. You might have to go to court. These types of cases are extremely expensive. They can get into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, even into the millions of dollars. And so, it would be wise to kind of say things that are true, but then also not as offensive.
Right. And Lead, for you, should our everyday social media user be cautious when posting about celebrities, or does it only apply to people with major platforms?
Yes, that's a great question, and everyday people should be concerned about this, because you can be an everyday person and make a tweet, and that tweet in 24 hours you'll look up and it'll go viral. Nosy Ho, she was sued just recently, and she only has 15,000 subs, which is pretty small for a YouTuber. And she was sued by Nicki Minaj. What she said kind of got back to Nicki Minaj in a tweet. And Nicki Minaj filed suit against her last week. So even a regular person that's not famous or not a superstar, can be sued for defamation?
So I do feel like with that situation in particular, the one with Nosy and Nikki, Nikki does actually have a point there because Nosy did, in fact, state something as it was a fact. But as you said, you have to prove that it is false for it to absolutely be defamation. So the burden of truth would be, Nikki has to prove that she's not what Nosy is accusing her of. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like with celebrities, I feel like they have a right to go after anyone they want if they're putting out information about them that is false. But I do feel like a lot of times it is them just kind of like trying to have the upper hand, because I don't think someone who has millions and millions and millions of followers and fans, something that a YouTuber who only has 15,000 subscribers, what they said, I don't really feel like that really puts a dent into their character or their image, because Nikki is like a world superstar and you're going against a YouTuber that half of the world has never even heard of. Right. So it does make people question, all right, what is your motive here, Nikki? Are you doing this just to say, aha, like I'm teaching you a lesson? Or do you really feel like your character was defamed? Because with Cardi and Tasha, Cardi really felt that, Tasha K's comments were detrimental to her and she lost wages from it. I do not feel like Nosy's comments in any way hurt Nicki Minaj.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to keep the conversation going. I would just say, do unto others as you want done to you. So stay with us. When we come back, our Revolutionary of the Week.